Welcome to the video. The sign behind me says entering Salem. That's what it says, just in case you were wondering. So welcome to another video. Now this is Hocus Pocus related, but it's also kind of a history video. Now, I have been to Salem multiple times. It was kind of my go-to, my getaway, my woo, I'm gonna have some awesomeness today trip that I would take when I lived in Boston. I actually am going to share with you some of the photos that I have of Salem, but we'll do that at the end. But this video is just about Salem. Why is it called the Witch City? It's about the Salem Witch Trials. And now I have to tell you, this whole witch trial thing actually started in Europe, and there truly and honestly, y'all, some of the things and methods that they use to try to prove witchcraft to me is just ridiculous. Like one of the ways is to bind someone's hand and someone's feet and throw them in the water. I think if they float, they're a witch, but if they sink, they're not. So Europe kind of went super crazy when it came to persecuting and executing witches. And basically, their definition of a witch is someone that, contracted with the devil to have specific powers. In America, you have to remember the New England colonies were founded by the Pilgrims. And these people were like super strict. So anything outside the norm, outside the usual, outside the, their everyday, daily, day-to-day life was basically not allowed. And when the witchcraft hysteria hit Europe, it made its way over to the US. Although we weren't the US yet, we were still colonies. But anyway, it made its way over here and deeply affected those people who were here because they were so strict in their belief system. In Salem, there were a group of girls who started experiencing what they attributed as being possessed by the devil. But what we now know, they were probably experiencing side effects due to bad grains and things like that. And they weren't actually truthful, but so they started saying that there were certain people in Salem who were actually witches who were casting spells and making these girls do crazy things. Basically, if you didn't walk on eggshells, or if you pissed somebody off, or if you gave someone a weird look, or if you didn't go to church, or if you didn't pray, or any number of reasons, you could be accused of witchcraft. In Salem, if someone was accused of witchcraft, they would be arrested. They would stand trial, which of course the trial was completely and totally biased in every single possible way, especially if you read the transcripts of them. It's just ridiculous. And of course, if they were given the chance, if they admitted that they were a witch, they just went back to jail for the most part. Some of them were executed. But if they did not admit to it, it was kind of like an automatic, okay, we're going to hang you. So I believe it was 18 people who were hung for witchcraft in Salem, and one man who was crushed, Giles Corey, who was crushed to death. So how does that tie into Hocus Pocus? Well, the storyline of Hocus Pocus originally landed the Sanderson sisters right smack in the middle of the witch hysteria. So I'm kind of glad they changed that. Because they were originally supposed to be hung in July of 1692. The amended storyline of the sisters being caught and hung on October 31st, 1693, really kind of puts them towards the end of the witch trial hysteria, more closer to that. And so it's funny because when I read the sequel said that when they caught the mob caught the sisters, they arrested them, tried them, convicted them, and hanged them all at that house. And I was like, that didn't happen. The same with the fourth Sanderson sister in the book. That didn't actually, that's not historically accurate. They didn't really do that. But Salem, people just was crazy. So that's why Salem obviously was the perfect setting for Hocus Pocus, because number one, it's the witch city. And number two, the storyline could actually go back the 300 years that it needed to go. So, little bit of backstory about the Salem Witch Trials. Believe me, there's so much more about the history of the persecution of suspected witches. It's mind-blowing how much there is. In Salem, there are memorials to the people who actually were accused, arrested, convicted, and basically murdered. And they actually have a witch statue, or a statue of a witch, I should say, in Salem. Now, grant you, it's not a Sanderson sister, but gosh darn it, there's a witch anyway. So if you ever decide to go to Salem, I highly recommend the Hocus Pocus tour. I highly recommend also checking out the witch tour, the historical tour, because you can get a lot of information, just like you can from the Freedom Trail. It's amazing to actually walk the cobblestone and go, wow, this is crazy. Like you're walking in the footsteps of history. So it's pretty amazing. I just wanted to do a short video about witches, Salem, Hocus Pocus. And at the end, I'm going to add in a few photographs that I have from Salem. So it should be awesome. Hope you enjoyed this short little pieces of history about Salem, and yeah. I will see you guys in the next video. Enjoy the photographs. Peace and love.